Good morning to Mynoo Maryel and everyone in India and countries in the morning, and good evening and afternoon to everyone else. Wow, I have goosebumps. Tonight feels to me like such a unique gift. We have another one-off transmission with Mynoo Maryel, the next reveal. And it's about 2026 is not unfolding on the surface. It is revealing itself in layers. What looked to us crystal clear at first glance now asks for discernment. What felt optional is becoming essential. This live session opens the next layer of nuance in the Age of Brilliance. No teaching agenda, no prepared answers, no performance. This is a living field shaped by what you are sensing, questioning, releasing, and stepping into. So bring the questions you cannot Google, the decisions you feel but cannot yet name, the thresholds you know you are approaching. This is your space to ask. What is 2026 truly asking of me? What must I release to move cleanly forward? What wants activation now, not later? How do I meet this year with clarity, coherence, and power? We will meet the year in real time with presence, with precision, with brilliance. Come on, this is live. Bring all your questions to Mynoo Maryel, and let's step into the next layer of 2026 together, consciously. Mynoo, over to you.
Thank you, Sarah. So I'm just going to allow whatever wishes to come through first, and then we'll open it up for questions. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the spotlight there. Okay. So I talked about that 2026 as a year is a year of accomplishments. The prep time is over, and now it is about accomplishment. I mean, I could have said it's about implementation. I'm actually saying it is a year of accomplishments. And that's where the clue is to that next layer of nuance. You know, you can be in implementation and not accomplish anything. You can already accomplish, but not feel accomplished either. And that also will keep you in a spin of doing. So when I'm saying that 2026 is a year, and it's a year of accomplishment, if it's something can be declared as accomplished when the job is done and you feel that sense of accomplishment. So accomplishment also has hidden within it acknowledgement of you having completed a task or completed a particular milestone. In fact, it's about, so the first thing to understand is what is the modus operandi that is called for in this year of accomplishment? The modus operandi is getting across the finish line, modus operandi. So it isn't just about, okay, getting on with it. It literally is about looking at what am I about to get on with? And once I get on with it, what is the end result of this? And breaking that end result up into small bite-sized chunks so that each time you're putting some attention into any task that you take on, you actually feel a sense of completion, and that completion is completion of progress, where you have where you have reached a particular milestone that is worthy of accomplishment and worthy of you feeling that sense of accomplishment. So the way you work on things is getting across the finish line, which means you actually envision the finish line. And you very discerningly take the next step next, moving towards the finish line. And I said getting across the finish line, not just stopping dead on the track, like not just stopping when you've got there, but it literally is going beyond. Now then you can stop, which means there is no turning back. You have actually crossed the finish line. You have completed a race, as an analogy. So as a strategy, so, like from a business point of view, if there is something that you're engaged in, let's say you're looking at, what is it that I prioritize this year for myself? Don't look at prioritizing the tasks or prioritizing a to-do list. You look at, what do I prioritize in terms of accomplishments this year? What is it that I will have accomplished this year? To be able to feel that accomplishment, what are the baby steps? The baby steps are paradigm shifting steps. So, baby step strategy is a very important strategy. What are the paradigm shifting steps? So, just like in the first year of of a baby, like literally every milestone, which is a very definite shift in the and demonstrates a a growth spurt for the baby, is what I would call as an important milestone. When the baby turns over, when the baby starts to sit down, when the baby starts to swallow solid foods, when it starts to crawl, when it says its first words, when it starts to react and respond, when it starts to respond to colors. I mean, these are all like growth signals. And every time a mother sees that, she knows that the baby is growing well. Similarly, you take 2026. The energy of 2026, by the way, continues all the way to the 5th of March, 2027. It began on the 1st of January. Little bit of a long year. So look at, what is it that you wish to accomplish this year. Literally, because it's a year of accomplishment, if you can get yourself to working in such a way, and you keep taking that next step next, you will achieve cadence in accomplishment. And just like when a baby takes its first step, rolls over, and it's very puzzled, and then it's just rolling all over the bed, all over the floor, that's what will happen with us. There's no turning back. It's a year like you can perfect your ability to implement the baby step strategy for yourself. So look at 2026 overall for you. What does that mean? What will get accomplished at a meta level in 2026? And what will be, therefore, to get there, what are the micro level finish lines? So, what's the finish line? If anything was possible, there were no barriers. What is the finish line that you would have crossed in 2026? What are those micro finish lines that you will be crossing, you know? And when certain things will need to occur. So what I've started doing is I've started looking at I've got a sense of that for myself. Now, what I do is I'm really using the energy of 2026 and looking at today, what am I going to get across the finish line? My next book is coming out soon. It's Anxiety to Awesomeness, the day anxiety lost its power. And right now it is, yesterday my milestone was getting it back from the developmental editor. 1 minute to midnight, I finally got it. I was like so clear it was coming back from the editor yesterday, and it did. Okay. Now, it's going to take me a few days, right? But so today, what am I getting across the finish line? I'm going to complete the 3 forewords. 2 of them I've already received. There's one that remains. So I've set it up yesterday because today I want to receive it. And it's actually from Dimple. Remember Sarah? Right? She's gone on to become an Ayurvedic doctor now.
Yeah, I see she's in Delhi or Mumbai.
Mumbai, yeah, Mumbai.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah. I mean, who knew, right? Here's an
Yeah,
investment
had
banker that
no
we
idea. New
met.
York investment
So,
banker to Ayurvedic doctor. Yeah, it's
yes, and a
beautiful.
very, very successful and impactful one. She's got an institute, she's got an amazing Ayurvedic clinic, pretty awesome. So hers is the only one that remains. So that is, and that'll be a sense of accomplishment from getting across the finish line. Um, by Sunday, I actually want to get all of my early reader feedback for that particular book. So I've just taken, and you can make it up. The whole idea is getting that cadence, getting that cellular memory of what it feels like, in terms of getting across the finish line. On 2 days ago, I've taken on strength training in a very concerted way, and Sai has been helping me with it. And he has a particular way in which he tracks it. So for me, 2 days ago was getting my own personal tracker of strength training done. And then, I start using that tracker without having to depend on Sai to go to the gym. Really, getting to it myself. So I was on Sai's case, and he has actually done the tracker. It's so complex. I don't really understand it. You know, I've just like got into a routine that I can follow, but tracking, they've got like so many details that they track to know that they are actually making progress. But anyway, I got it. I got the tracker. So it feels really good. You declare, what am I going to get across the finish line today? And you get it. And don't, if you just did it every single day, by the end of 30 days, you've got 30 things across the finish line. So there's no rush. You can be really calm about it. The vibe and the energy of 2026 really carries you through. And the amazing part is, I mean, I combine it with what I call as time segmentation as a method. And Mary Catherine, I've talked to you all about it, which is you create a segment and you be true to the segment. And no segment is more than 30 minutes long. And if there is something that's going to take 2 hours in a day, you still do it in 30-minute chunks and have 10 minutes in between. So I'm being true to the be true to the segment methodology. So as a result, it's taken a little bit of working. As a result, in 15 days, I'm actually able to complete so many things in 30 minutes. Because when I start doing it, I'm actually only focused on that. But I've already planned what's the finish line for that time segment. So right now, I'm training myself on what it feels like planning what's going to occur in the way of finish lines and getting across the finish line. So, what has happened is that there is nothing in my day that I'm engaged in which I would say is work in progress. So, I'm already operating from an envisioning of this is the end game. So, even if it means I'm spending 30 minutes just simply chilling or even watching Netflix. And I can literally, it is about reconnecting to my joy, bringing that playfulness in my joy. That's the finish line. It is sharpening my brain in a way that I did not envision it was possible. You become vigilant, you're discerning, you understand what is the pulse that you are going to track. I, I mean, it's a nuance piece that I'm talking about here, and I just want to know that you're really grasping it. So, Sarah, anything that is showing up for you to clarify or, uh, you know, reiterate?
Well, what I find so a contribution is the clarity that you're offering, the step by step and the declaration of what I'm going to get across the finish line in 30-minute segments and at the end of the day. Um, and I got for myself to bring joy and playfulness into the practicing, because usually I take it so seriously. So that's what's coming up for me, is that actually it should be fun. It should be that challenging fun for me, energy.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Instead of seeing it as a have to or must do or
yeah,
chores. Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah.
The amazing thing is, instead of I have to be disciplined, you just become that. You just become disciplined. And the rigor you're applying isn't to working hard. You're applying the rigor to getting clarity on what is the finish line, you know, and getting across that.
What's also coming up for me is that lightness of being,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that you can
Absolutely.
accomplish, that I can accomplish with the lightness of being with what you're sharing and presenting to us as an
Yeah.
approach. Mm.
The other piece that happens is, how it's dignity is really important to me, and dignity is honoring of our own worthiness. If you have so many little sense experiences of accomplishment, I mean, you automatically start honoring your worthiness, you know? So you reclaim that connection to dignity by automatically. you're already operating in choice. So, this is two out of the three things that we are born with are an active display in terms of being, invoked and activated and producing results. Your association to yourself becomes one of I matter. What I do and deliver matters and is quite fulfilling. Every conversation that I have, like yesterday, I had a conversation with Ken, and it was great. I just had such a beautiful sense of accomplishment. So for me, I complete the conversation after I've actually ended the conversation with whoever I'm having, and before I rush on to something else, I really go into what got across the finish line today in this conversation, you know, and it was like, oh yeah, that's what we accomplished, and it felt good. Now there are and then what are the actions arising? And then I can look at when those actions have to be. So you know how we talk about a reaction reactivates an emotional trigger. Responding reestablishes a bond. Reactions just disappear. There's no reaction to anything. There's an activation and there's a discerning response. Automatically occurs in this way of operating. The biggest gift I have to say is when I said, okay, if 2026 is the year of accomplishments, my baby of me in this new incarnation from 2026 onwards is in its first year, right? What are the baby step milestones? Now, listen, uncertainty is certain, unknown is the known, take nothing for granted is the modus operandi. All of that is so, right? In all of that, now, having engaged with it this way, I'm not attached to it. I'm then free to play the game. It's like I am the best coach and mentor as a player, for who's going to be who's playing this game of what I have declared will be accomplished, will be the finish line that I'm going to get across in 2026. So some of you I think Mary Catherine, you're probably the only one who knows, but we made a very big decision. This is leveraging the 2026 energies. As a family, me, Sai, Jill, and our boys, Elio and Emilio, we made a very big choice in 2026. And the choice is that we are leaving Dubai and moving base camp to Chiang Mai, Thailand. So, you're muted, Sarah.
No, I went, oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Didn't see that coming.
Yes. So, really joining Ken in his neighborhood. um, Saim has been talking about it for a bit, and I thought, okay, I knew that Ken was in Chiang Mai, and the photographs and stuff that Ken has shared are just completely magical. Um, I did not realize that we would go there uh, to experience what the place is like and fall completely, like not fall, like rise in love with it you know I thought that, okay, if we are going to move to the Far East, Bali is a place that I know, but having experienced Bali with my sisters, and Sai also went and lived there for 2 months, for a month actually, we both came back saying it's somehow lost that magic that it had. For people that are new to Bali, it absolutely has the magic. For those of us who lived there all those years ago, it's something's like really amiss. Chiang Mai has the magic of Bali. It has the efficiency of the best parts of living in Jakarta, and it is clean and safe, probably even more so than Dubai. And it has the amazing schools. Like for me, the best school is the Green School. Ken, you've seen it. You've been there with me, Sarah, right? There were issues around the curriculum of the Green School because initially they started as a Steiner school and then they were like, international um, curriculum. I mean, it's like still a little bit of hodgepodge. Here we found a school which is like the Green School with British curriculum, so it has that rigor and discipline already. Now they're going to assess the boys and then make their final choice, but we did find a great school, you know, and we found the most amazing home. Now, following the 2026 energies, which is taking, like baby step milestones, literally because we were following the baby step milestones, the house we found the perfect home. And hey, we are moving on the 10th of April, still time, right? Usually, landlords don't agree to giving you a rental contract if it is so many months away. This one did. We've signed the agreement, we paid our deposit, the house is locked in. They know we'll move on the 10th of April. School stuff is happening. Now, removal, taking our stuff from here to there. We had no idea what that was going to cost. And we found the most amazing guy. Just, it was a little bit of a random running into someone at somebody's party who just happens to be the owner of this, relocation container shipping. And he's just given us such an affordable quote. And Ken is already there. So in terms of the right visas and all of that, he's made the connection. Just feels here the point I'm saying is it's literally because we are working in this way, leveraging the 2026 strategies, everything is just coming in and we have that sense of accomplishment every day. There was also like sharing with my family. We've all got very used to Sundays of family brunch. And a big part of the family is going to be moving to Chiang Mai. So, my sister's first reaction was, the kids can go, but you don't have to go. Give yourself a year. But because I had that, my sense of accomplishment would be, I will actually share it with my sister and she'll be totally delighted with the news. That will be the getting across the finish line, not just sharing with her. You see the difference? Getting across the finish line wasn't just sharing with her. It was that we will have a sharing and she will be delighted with the choice. And it gets accomplished. It's somehow, I stand in source after that and communicate coming from source. So she's not feeling rejected or anything. It's just a choice that we've made for ourselves, that will grow and expand and have the impact that we wish to have in the world and our business and my foundation by revitalizing myself with every breath I take. And I'll actually plan out my visits to Dubai over the year. I want to bring out that difference between taking one step at a time versus taking the next step next. One step at a time would have been, wow, let me just have this water. Let's go experience Chiang Mai for vacation over 2 weeks. But we were taking the next step next, which meant, yeah, we went to Chiang Mai. We are going to experience it and see what it's like. And literally, because we were in that momentum, that cadence of moving forward with our lives, it was like made perfect sense for us to sit around. And it literally was on Christmas morning, because Christmas Eve, we had the most amazing Christmas Eve at this kids' cafe, which had the most yummy foods for adults, ten dining tables for adults, and 2 acres of children's playground, and a drive-in cinema equivalent for kids, and bouncy castle and slides and swings and all of that in open air. And we were like, the kids loved it. And we loved it because as adults, we could just sit and have our conversation with our friends whilst the kids were playing and safe, you know? And then on Christmas morning, when we woke up, we looked at each other and we were like, yeah, we are moving. So what's there to do next? And we literally, from the new year onward, just lined up various home visits and school visits and all of that. And it, like a domino thing, just started concluding. Now, Sai and Jill weren't even aware that I was leveraging the energy of 2026. Because even I was learning about it. Remember how late I got what 2026 was about? Normally a few months in advance. This time, it was literally at the last minute. So I'm going to just leave it there and then highlight more nuances as you ask questions. So over to you. I just want to check in with Ken because there's so much of what I've shared actually, got Ken was a major collaborator, and some parts, certainly spiritually, I think we co-created as well. So Ken, is there anything that you want to add or share?
Oh, maybe just a couple of things. My heart totally sings with this transmission of yours, and I'm happy beyond measure that you joined me in Chiang Mai. I've been here in Thailand since 1975 with Bali as my co-homes, and you being here so close to me, as you know from some of the adventures we've already had, is
Yeah.
just going to be such a wonderful part of the everything of the all that is. So I may have a question, but not right now, if that's okay. I
Yeah, I know
just
that's
wanted to
all.
respond.
It
Thank
just
you.
it just
I'm so
felt
glad.
incomplete without asking you to just share from your
Thank
perspective.
you so much, Manu.
Okay. Sarah, over to you. Um,
What should I, okay, so I have a question, and then shall I select people who also want, so I
yeah, yeah.
suppose whoever wants to ask a question, if you put your hand up, and I know Asha has a question. My question is, how did Chiang Mai,
Chiang Mai,
Chiang
yeah.
Mai come up? Because to me, it just came out of the blue. And I'm asking the question because I'm fascinated, because as you know, I have other homes and did not plan on being in New York at all. And I'm still here, and it really isn't my happy place. And my communities are not here or haven't been here. Um, but I've been sitting here wanting a message from the universe of where do I go next? Where do I go next for the last couple of years since mom died in 2020? And I haven't gotten a clear response. I've always had a clear response previously. So I'm curious, how did Chiang Mai come up, except that I know Ken's there, but
Yeah.
the energies are certainly different than Dubai.
Yes, yes, yes. Completely different. Chiang Sai had, I mean, his business and he were going through some serious stresses the last 2 years. Began about 3 years ago, and then it was always like stop, start, go so much further, and then, several steps back type situation. So he was already starting to feel the pressure of continuing to be in Dubai. Dubai requires a certain amount of expenditure if you are to have a lifestyle. So he was researching where in the world would he go. So when he went to Bali, literally it was actually unbeknown to Jill and me that him going to Bali for a month was like, well, that's weird that he wants to go there for a month by himself. But for Jill it was like, look, he's been under so much stress here. If he's going to go and work from Bali for a month, I'm just really happy because when he comes back, we'll have so many amazing things to talk and share and all of that. But part of him was really testing whether that's where we could go, because we all know Bali really well. He also went to Jakarta when he went to Bali, spent a week there, you know, revisiting some of these amazing places that they had lived in and experienced. Then came back in his own mind, it was like, okay, Indonesia is visit, not to move the family there, you know. And then he started sharing that, I really feel um, that I have to provide a certain amount of money each month for my family to live the lifestyle that they've gotten used to. And it's just putting me under a lot of pressure. And I know what's possible in the business, but I just have no space to focus on that innovation. So I'm going to give myself a few months to see if we can turn it around. But I have been researching where we move. So then he shared with us all of these different places that he had researched. And after several months of research, he also shared with us the best place that is showing up for him is Chiang Mai. And Ken, you will recall it was several months ago, possibly about 6 months ago, I asked Ken about what would it cost for us to, live in Chiang Mai and stuff. And Ken gave us some idea at that time, and then it was like, okay, that was just something that we didn't pursue at the time. But it had been there in Sai's mind about Chiang Mai. So I said to him, when it came to Christmas, New Year, I said to him that, look, why don't we just, you've been talking about Chiang Mai for at least 8 months or so. Why don't we go there on a vacation? Let's have a winter vacation there and experience the place. And I have a really good friend who lives there. And I'd already talked to Sai about Ken, and I think Ken also had a brief conversation with him. That's how we went there on a winter vacation. What we had not factored in or even envisioned, we thought it would be a very useful thing to do. What we had not factored in was that we would rise in love with it. It was just simply amazing. And then what I saw, if you're not dependent on your income coming from that town or that country, and it can be international, your income is international, that is the best place for any young family or any person who is rewiring for a new phase in life to live. It just simply is. They talk about collaborative co-creation of coexistence with everything that is living, from animals to trees to soil, you know, it's just there. It's there. I had not envisioned that the schools would be so good. I had not envisioned that there would be, I mean, we didn't see one or two homes. We saw possibly 20 homes, maybe even more than that, and they were in amazing gated compounds. We thought we'll go into a gated compound because we're coming from Dubai. We got a little bit spoiled about the level of safety. But actually, the one that we loved is a villa on its own, you know? And Ken had already told us how safe it was. But now we had a chance we met so many people. And with the school thing, we met so many parents who were also expats. The other piece that was important for us is in the schools, the kids are so used to being in a school with people from all different nationalities. Lo and behold, that's what you have here also. Nearly 60% are people from all over the world. 40% are from Southeast Asia. Teachers are a similar as well. So I think another secret, by the way, in 2010, when I was guided to go away, when Ellen guided me, go away for 3 weeks by yourself, without Phil, without Sai, walk your path, stop supporting everybody else in theirs, and focus on who am I and what I want to do next. There were two options that I finally narrowed in on. One was Chiang Mai, and the second one was Bali. And I chose Bali at the time because Gina and JP had both gone to Bali and stayed by themselves for 3 weeks or more. So I chose that because I was really very logical, mind driven at the time. But Chiang Mai was, so Bali, enabled one particular level of embodied enlightenment, and Chiang Mai is taking me to a whole new level. So, yeah.
Wow. Talking about miracles and magic.
Ken probably has something to share. So, Ken.
I do. Before the question I'm going to ask, which is about Bhutan, I have maybe even a lot to share. I met you in Bali at that home that you were in with JP.
Yeah, yeah,
You and I sat out in the rice fields and we co-created what is still active today.
yeah,
Kindred spirits, kindred souls. I love Bali. I was first living there in 1975. Bali and Thailand were my co-homes then because I followed the rainy seasons, which is not the same anymore. But like, okay, dry season, we go to Chiang Mai. Rainy season in Chiang Mai, we go back to Bali because they're the opposite hemispheres. And these are both still my co-homes. I still lead many groups in Bali. I have my collection of Bali healers that I take as far as Ladakh, Tibet, and other places. And here I am at 73 on March 18th, and I'm still doing this. And you said, well, Ken, your biological age is 19. And I said, thank you very much. I'll receive that. As long as my partner's not too much older, since he's only 43 in 3D. And we just laughed and we laughed and we laughed. How many times did we laugh on the car on the way to our temples in Thailand?
I know.
In Chiang Mai, the places that you and I went together. And
Amazing,
my,
by the way. I have not come across temples so perfectly maintained. Yes.
yeah,
Ken.
I mean, Thailand is awesome, and as I said, a co-home has been Bali. I ran away from home to join the Alice Cooper tour in 1975, which led me to Asia, thank gosh. And now I'm in Asia with you. Now you're going to be my neighbor, you know, and that's just a 15-minute motorcycle drive away. I still drive a motorcycle at the ripe young age of 14. Okay. So, for anybody who wants to come and be with Mynoo in Chiang Mai or otherwise, I don't know how this is working yet, but Chiang Mai is one of the most amazing places on the planet in terms of living, long-term living, all that you know already, right? All that we're still unfolding around visas for all the people and everything. And I'm in touch with my amazing people you're in touch with. And I'm saying this because I don't know, Mynoo, if you have anybody else, like the person who's talking on the phone, young lady, come to Chiang Mai. See if it makes your heart sing. And with that, I've talked a lot. I do have a question, but that'll be around something later. When you say questions,
Okay. Okay. So Ken, I'll come back to you on the question, but over to you, Sarah. I think Asha had mentioned that she has a question.
Yes. Asha, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Your question, please.
Today, the way you started the conversation is different, totally different. Because accomplishment for me, it was like, I just feel that the age what I have just now, I want to complete all my accounts. And my first subject was relationship. And that is what I want to complete, that relationship chapter of my life in the best way I can before I leave this body. So, thinking of that, I joined this session. But the whole thing is totally different. I don't know whether I should ask you or not. That's different thing. So if
Okay,
I don't
so
want to divert anything, any conversation.
yeah. So I want to ask you, when you say it is totally different, there's clearly some insights you've had, you
Yeah.
know? What insights? What I call them illuminations. What illuminating insights have you had from what I have said so far?
I felt that you are very lucky with the family. Secondly, I felt that uh, at this period of your life, you plan to change everything. So that's a very big step in your life. No? I wish I could have done it years back, but now I can't because I know my limitations. But so that is something very inspiring. That's what I felt. And
Hmm.
it will give inspiration to many young people also who are listening.
Hmm.
You are 60 and you are thinking of that. So this is a very big step in life. So that gave me a lot of courage within me.
Hmm.
At any time of your life, you can
Hmm.
do what you want.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't talk much just now.
Yeah. Just allow yourself to be with this. One of Jill's friends was visiting us, Saskia. She was with us at the romance immersion in Rome. And she asked me a question. She said, it's such a big thing because her mother is maybe a couple of years younger than me. So I'm 65, so I'll be 66 this year. So she was just saying that my mother has only 2 years ago started traveling outside of Germany and is excited about traveling outside of Germany. And you're like, you live here and you don't have to move out of Dubai, and you're choosing to just change home. There's so much planning and how do you do this? How can you switch home like that? It's not just an apartment or a house. It's also a whole new culture and a new country and all of that. And for me, the answer to her was that, you know, the way I do this is that my home is where I am. So then I'm not attached to any particular place. I'm able to really be at home and experience that safety and that security comes with being home wherever I am. Because it's not just what is home base, it's also I travel quite a bit. So on the flight, it's a long flight. My home is where I am. So I am actually at home. There's a different association to home that we as humans have.
Yeah.
And that is what really serves me massively. And my niece's husband was saying, um, "Do you really want to live in the same home with your son and daughter-in-law and the kids? Do they actually want you to be there?" You know. Now, I did share with him that we actually don't never keep any unsaid communications between us. And Sarah, you've experienced our relationship. And it is intense, because there is no unsaid communication. Therefore, we speak everything, you know. Um, but it is coming from us being in source. So we are in source and we do share. So there are some reservations that Jill has, and for me, which she shared, and there was some like like zero tolerances that she has, I have, Sai has. So we've shared that with each other, and how we are going to work around those. And if it becomes something that we can't work around, rather than, you know, holding back, compromising, we will actually just share that with each other and co-create a solution. So we've actually working through that. And for me, the main premise was, if we are moving in together, it has to be a large enough space for me to have my space and for everybody in the home to have their space, right? So we discussed this even before we started seeing our homes. Now, it was like, um, what would that mean? It would be great to have two living rooms. It would actually be great if we had two kitchens. I mean, like, it was ridiculous stuff that you don't have normally in houses. Lo and behold, we have a home which has two living rooms. It has two kitchens. It has an upstairs and a downstairs. Downstairs is my space. Upstairs is which will be their bedrooms. And it has a huge outside as well. So it's like, and it's no more expensive than many other places that we could have moved to. So it was interesting. The main thing is, we are in no unsaid communication is the key.
But communication can take place only when the other people around you are ready to communicate.
You
One
can
should be open. There should not be no arguments. But you openly
no, there is, it's not that our communication is not always, well, happy. There are arguments sometimes, Ashaji.
Yeah.
But what we have said is that we are not going to keep unsaid communications. So sometimes when my son was going through stresses, it was like, I don't want to know this. This feels like nagging. We hear you, Sai, it feels like nagging. So let's allocate a time when we'll do this, where it doesn't feel like nagging. Or we would go back and say that, look, the overarching context of us being together as a family is that we are a stand for each other, living a fulfilled, flourishing life. And we see it for both Jill and I, like, literally by the at the end of the first day, I asked everyone, what is the one thing that you feel you accomplished today? Both Jill and I said the same thing. We love to see Sai just laughing the way he used to, because he just lost his laughter for 2 years. You know?
So eh, as I'm talking about the relationship, accomplishment means in the morning I decide today what I want to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
In that particular area of I'm discussing. And
So,
then
the way to ask yourself, look, accomplishment is the way I'm describing it. There's a nuance to the 2026 accomplishment.
yeah, right.
It's not a goal energy. It is literally get across the finish line. What am I getting across the finish line today?
Okay.
Okay, and it could be, for example, Ashaji, communication. I get it that it is a two-way communication.
Yeah.
And the other person should also be ready to communicate. Initially, they just may not know how, and they will create a pushback. However, when you have taken it on, you will get unsaid communication out of your field. So it may be that, at some points, when Sai was very shut out, Jill was like holding the fort with the kids, because the kids are very sensitive, both of them. you know so it would be like, Jill, no unsaid communications. Sai, this piece of paper is Sai, and here's a pen. Use your relationship to your this pen and this paper as your way of communicating to Sai. Just go write it down. Get everything out of your system until
And
you feel that sense of peace.
whatever she has written, it will be with her or she will keep. to other
Well,
parts.
she may decide to. There were some pieces that she had written. The moment she wrote some things, they were out of her system. But there were a few pieces that were really big ones. She was not able to just say, "Okay, I can just let it go." So then it was like, okay, there's a process that some of you have done with me, which I call as dissolving the big offenders. I did that process with her. So she could communicate that to me over and over and over again until didn't have a charge on her anymore. I've done this with other people, the unsaid communication part, where I'm not there for them to do this with. I say to them, talk to a tree, talk to the ocean, but just keep going, reading what you have written over and over again until you can cross everything that you've written off. Then you can go burn that piece of paper. It's done. It's done.
Yeah, that way journaling has helped me. Whenever I write down,
So, Ashaji, this is not journaling in terms of
okay,
unsaid communication. This is literally a separate piece of paper
uh,
that is, you are like allowing yourself to communicate with, let's say you take one person where in your life where there's an important relationship, but there's lots of unsaid communication. That paper becomes that person. And you
and,
communicate with them by writing down everything that you wish to communicate with them.
but that communication will be only with me only, no. It
You
will not
will,
be.
yeah, yeah. It won't necessarily, it won't go to them because you will get it out of your system and
Right.
ultimately cross it all off. But I'm just saying, when you take on, I'm really neutralizing or dissolving all unsaid communications
Correct.
from my field in this relationship today. That's me getting across the finish line today.
Okay.
You will go ahead and do this. That in itself will clear your field in a very big way. Now, I knew because my sister's reaction often is she will hold back. Right now, she's done enough immersions with me because I've done so many of them in Dubai and stuff, and she usually travels with me. She knows the importance of unsaid communications. But she also knew that I was not about justifying why I'm making this choice. When I said to her that, okay, the kids have decided they are moving to Chiang Mai for sure, her daughter asked me, what about you? And I said, I don't feel there is any reason for me to live away from the kids. So I'm also going to be moving with them. And she says, well, we've got business here, we've got a foundation, you haven't talked to me about it. Shouldn't you be staying in Dubai for a year and understand you don't want to be away from the kids, but take a year, solidify various things. So I said, okay, let's just examine the facts. I've been here for 6 years. What are the things that we are practically required to be in person to get done? There were like 4 or 5 things. Could those have been done if I traveled to Dubai? They could have been done. Okay. So then, and I said to her that wouldn't it be amazing that there is a place 5 hours away for you that you can just fly into and chill, you know? It's even a flight worth taking, which for a long weekend, it's not that complex. It's a direct flight. Then the excitement started to come in.
You know what I feel when I'm talking all these things? That universe has planned all these things for you. That particular place needs your positive vibrations, whatever you have accomplished in life. For so many other people there in that particular area. So it's only God's wish that pulls you and that creates all the best of the surroundings that one needs to have. So
Yeah, and
that's what.
it's a place that, is going to contribute to me massively as well. It's such a beautiful exchange that is awaiting and has already begun, you know?
So what I
And
said you just now,
yeah,
same way, whatever happens in your life, whether
Yeah.
it's communication, whether it's relation, whatever it is. It's only his wish.
Yes.
Universe plans for you, and you have to make the best of it.
Yeah.
That's what I feel just now.
And that
And I
is true for
understand that,
everybody, right,
yeah,
Ashaji? Just know it is true for you as much as it is for me,
right.
you know?
And the more you are on this visuality, the more you understand yourself better and
Mm.
better. But
Yeah.
every time you cannot accept it because the mind is playing game. Mind doesn't allow me to accept what is happening. But my my inner place tells me this is not right, this is not wrong, but the mind will not allow. Mind wants all the temptations and everything. So once you understand, and then also you cannot do it, it's not right.
Again, you don't make that choice and decision. It is right, it is not. It doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel right. Whether it is right or not, it doesn't matter. It is,
It is.
Now, and it doesn't feel right. Okay. Where in my body what do I feel in my body? This is what I feel in my body. Just be with it and it will dissolve.
Just acknowledge it.
Acknowledge and don't just walk away from it.
Okay.
Acknowledge it, feel it, be with it, it will dissolve.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Thank
by the
you.
way, there are times where I've seen, there's a lot of financial pressure on Sai for the last 2 years. And there were times where he would be, I would say, plainly disrespectful to Jill. There's like, okay, you want this and you want this and you want this, and you're not working and I'm having to provide. No way, this is not, this type of talking to another person is not happening in my watch, you know? And so I would interrupt. And then Sai would go, well, now I don't need you to be nagging me as well. Sai, is there anything else you wish to say? This conversation is not sitting right for me. So doesn't matter about whether it is sitting right for me or not. You've made it. There's some stuff that you're going through. The journey isn't, you've not completed that yet. Is there anything else you wish to say? No, I don't wish to talk right now. Okay. So when shall we talk? But I would step into my source and really turn the volume up,
Yeah.
and then we would fix a time. And then it would be like, okay, we'll have that time and we'll speak. And we did. There's one particular point where Elio said something, Uh, I think the kids have got used to the Dubai lifestyle. They come in, they live in a five-star hotel, in an apartment, everything is taken care of and stuff. And you're going on a winter vacation and it's like, you're doing everything yourself because we had an Airbnb. So Elio made some passing comment, but I can't believe you're living like this type thing. So I came down so hard on him. He's a 7-year-old, for heaven's sake. You've given him that life where everything gets taken care of. The door of the car is open and the kid's school bag is taken by the concierge. So the kid has had no other experience other than that. So now he's made this comment and he was like, he was just like, it was a playful comment. There was nothing majorly serious about it. But so I was like, this is ridiculous. This another amazing home we found. But as we were coming, we were like walking around that particular compound, and there was this Chinese woman, and she had a butler-like guy in the penguin suit, and another guy. The butler guy was walking with her, and the other guy had this fancy umbrellas that he was holding up. And so I said, "We are not moving to this compound. This is not real." This is Chiang Mai, by the way. So it was like, oh, hey, side, chill. Everybody's going to have their own journey. And my invitation to Sai was, can you just look at this and realize how fortunate that you were able to provide this experience to your family? So the kids could just simply enjoy that. And look at them, they're in the mud and they are in the trees and, having a really good time. And they can experience all of these worlds. But my point of just saying this is that it isn't that psi is that things don't happen which are seem unacceptable. I just don't keep it that way. I do declare it to myself, it is unacceptable. And it was sometimes certain things, it's not enough for me to write it down on my own piece of paper, but I do write it so that it's out of my system. And then I know the communication I want to have with Sai or with Jill or with whoever. But key thing is in your field, no unsaid communications. You'll have lots of unsaid communication, Sarah, in terms of what you are to handle. So, get it out of your system.
Yeah.
Mm. Mhm.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mynoo.
welcome. Ken, do you have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
It's non-related, but I may speak for just a moment first, since we're speaking about my home for 51 years. I just, first of all, I know after just being very intimately with you in temples and other places, how right it is for everybody. For the kids, best place on the planet. I know that. For you to be my neighbor, I'm all over that, as you know. Uh, I love Sai, and I know there'll be a budding friendship that has already started to bud. I just wanted to say that, and my question is this: Bhutan. Any wisdom you have around Bhutan? I'm about to make my 34th journey with a group in October. I've been invited back for the third time by the king and the government in June with Sam. Bhutan is very much in my consciousness. My second book possibly will feature Bhutan or just be Bhutan. All we've spoken of. And today I was told, ask Mynoo about Bhutan, because it's one of the places I could have lived, except for Chiang Mai is the most perfect place on the planet, and my partner's Cambodian. So for us to live here is ease and grace. And it's a 3-hour flight to Bhutan. For me, that's like a 15-minute walk, as you know.
Yeah.
So what about this? I mean, there's much ahead with Bhutan. I've been with 2 royal families. A second book's ahead. I don't know what it is. I do know that the government had to invite me with the okay of the king for June alone. And I know there's something big around this for me.
So you have a very, very close and intimate relationship with the royalty in Bhutan. And this is past life stuff, So it is a place of where you step into your majesty. It doesn't have the homey feeling like Chiang Mai does or Bali did, but it is a place. It is your place in that respect, but where you step into your majesty. So you will be visiting Bhutan, like all the way through till whenever you're choosing to depart from this planet. You will keep visiting to Bhutan yourself, and taking it's a leader. Tibet used to be the leader of your sacred journeys. Bhutan's taking its place now. Doesn't mean you won't go to Tibet, you will, but in a way that it'll be on your terms, as you're evolving into the being that you're becoming. But Bhutan will be the leader of the pack. That's really what I'm guided to say to you for your
That
sake.
actually makes my heart sing. Thank you so much. Hey, I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, observations? Kelly, so good to see you after here online after a long, long time. How have you been? You'll need to unmute in case you're speaking. Okay. She may not be there. Any other questions? Lee?
Mynoo, I've been experiencing something, a kind of stillness, even sometimes without the stillness breath, just sort of coming back to this place of stillness.
Yeah.
It's really interesting when there's a decision or when there's something or something arises in my mind, and I just come back to this place of stillness, and it's been fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll become the place you operate from. The stillness breath is to interrupt a pattern and get into that space.
Mhm.
It'll be the space you will just simply start operating from.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's quite noticeable. It's not a big deal, but it's just very clear. Oh, stillness. It's
Yeah.
just very,
Very, very yummy, right?
yeah, very yummy. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions? Mary Catherine, anything showing up for you? David, Helene, Raki. You'll need to unmute, Helene. And Mary Catherine, you'll also need to unmute if you're speaking.
I just have a quick question. When you mentioned, well, I've seen the exchanges with Ken when you were doing the whole thing and the pictures, and something inside of me lit up, and I don't know if it was just excitement for you or if there's something in it for me.
It's a very healing place. You literally step into a container that fine tunes the healing that you are to receive from nature, because it's so rich in nature. It's surrounded by mountains,
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, because we are all like our own, those of us who've been doing beyond meditation and stuff so regularly, our holographic ripple effect is quite expansive, so it was some things that you were receiving yourself from simply me being there.
Even just said he got lit up too. Thank
I mean,
you.
I do see you all visiting, so for sure you will have the experience of Chiang Mai.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to Ken talk about it for years.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like something so far, it just didn't seem within reach. And then all of a sudden now it seems within reach.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very special. I mean, it's interesting how they think about these little things. They have these kids cafes. As one of these cafes, it's got 9 waterfalls. And it's a kids cafe. And the waterfalls have got different lights and different stuff. Some of them are artificial, some of them are natural. But it's just pretty awesome, that you have all this acreage, kids to run around and splash about, and parents can also enjoy good food, not just chicken nuggets and chips or fish and chips, which often happens in a way if you go to a kids cafe, there's very little for adults to have, so yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, David, Helene.
Very exciting news. We're extremely excited for you.
Yes.
First of all, there's nothing like being with family.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you're already on that side of the world, it's not like a whole culture shock or anything like that. And you could do anything from anywhere these days. So
Yeah.
it sounds like a great move for
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Looking forward to it for sure.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. So to finish, Sarah, is there anything else showing up for you? It doesn't have to be about this. It could be a completely different question.
I still am asking the universe, where am I to be? I'm still here in New York. This is like, ugh. What's showing up for me is what you had mentioned in the overview of today's session is 2026 revealing itself in layers. I had absolutely no idea when you and I, a few minutes before this session, were doing our clearing of the conversation and Chiang Mai, just the conversations and questions that were going to come up today totally came from like, wow, I'm still planning to visit you in Dubai. So now I'm like, okay, change course. It won't be Dubai. It'll be
But
Chiang Mai.
Gary,
But
just get on with it. Come next
well,
month.
I don't know what's going on with me here in New York. I feel like I'm in a vortex of something. But is the revealing itself in layers and the magic really how magical and the miracles that have come up in our conversation tonight and in the transmission.
I would say, Sarah, it's interesting that your hosting often happens when that topic is completely potent for you. And today's the reveal was about get across the finish line is the strategy of how you operate. So, for that, you have to focus on what is my finish line and you have to get across it. That is the most important thing, you know? So like literally break up any huge, humongous accomplishment that you wish to have, break it up into a multitude of finish lines. The baby is going to roll before it's going to sit up.
It's just that, yes, it's just something about New York. And I know you have shared with me last year that the sounds, the noise, the vibrancy of New York, or not, I wouldn't say vibrancy of New York, but the energy of New York, I'm to use that it's to push me forward. But I feel like I haven't either the energy, it's just not my happy place. I'm not really, maybe I don't need to be, I don't need to be in my happy place to.
No. Understand. There is you're actually making something so personal. Happiness is a decision you make,
Yeah, well,
right? Joy is the action you seek. So there's nothing that actually controls how happy or not happy you are. So this whole idea of something being a happy place or some relationship giving you happiness, no, it's your decision.
I know, but obviously I
Right?
haven't made the decision. I've made the decision
So,
while I'm
so,
here to be in
so, so
this
hold-
space of
no,
something
no, no,
else.
forget that. Forget what I'm saying. The nuance of what I'm saying is make the decision to be happy within you. Then every place is a happy place. Because all you have to do is to make that decision and you find actions that give you joy. Now, you and I together have taken so many actions that have given us infinite amounts of joy in New York.
Yes.
So many memories
But
we've
if we were
created.
together, that's the.
I mean, and by yourself as well. So it wasn't that and you've had so many years of amazing moments of joy with your mother.
Yes.
So that in itself is quite a lot. That's there. So it is actually a place that has anchored many amazing memories of joy. So, labeling New York is not my happy place. New York is New York. It's nobody's happy place or sad place.
Well,
It has
maybe
its
it's the
own
vibration. What about the natural
innate
vibration of
vibration. The natural
innate
vibration
vibration?
of the natural vibration of New York is a new beginnings vibration.
Okay.
Okay.
To me, it doesn't. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
listen. There are no new beginnings if there is no completion. You're only feeling the stress of the energy of New York because you are not completing in many parts of your life. That's all. So it is a stressful energy because its natural energy is new beginnings. It is completely the perfect energy for 2026 if you follow getting across the finish line as a modus operandi, because it's naturally a new vibration, a new beginnings vibe. So it's only been stressful for you because you haven't been completing, Sarah. And there are areas in your life where you have completed, and it's been amazing. I mean, I remember when you and I were together, or where you were going to live was such a huge point of stress, you know?
David and Helene are smiling too.
Yeah. And then lo and behold, you're in the most amazing place in New York, and you're there. It's given you that gift. So, it was a new beginning to actually be able to be in the comfort of a home that nurtures you without having to stress about where do I go next. You're constantly living in uncertainty. It has given you certainty in an area of your life which has come from all those rockets of desires of feeling settled in a home. And you got that. In which whatever way, but you've got that. So New York is an amazing place. The energy is new beginnings. That's the key thing. And Manhattan, that energy of new beginnings is volume turned up to the highest level. 2026, it is like one of those huge microphones, a major amplifier of new beginnings. If you don't complete, it is the heaviest place you can be. That's the key thing.
So in short, don't worry, be happy.
And think positive.
Complete though, Sarah, get across the finish line. Now it's not even complete. It's get across the finish line. Little bit beyond just complete. You can complete energetically and still, because get across the finish line calls for conscious awareness of getting something where you have gone across the finish line. So there is a natural sense of accomplishment. Every day, do it day by day. In your case, I would say do it hour by hour, until you get into that rhythm. And every day there is something that you can actually declare, I have got this. I got this across the finish line. At first, when I received this as a direction, I was like, my God, how stressful this is going to be. Every day to get something across the finish line. I mean, when am I going to just chillax, And it's like, it felt that the thought of it felt stressful. And then I realized and my spirit guidance was just get on with it. Decide and get on with it. See what it shows up, how it shows up. It's magical. The lightness of being is guaranteed.
Who wants to buddy with me? No, yes. Okay. I got it. Clear. Message received.
And I mean, the thing I
Thank
want to
you.
share with everyone is, there were times where many times over the years, we've like something isn't quite working out. So we just like sit and discuss it. We pick up the phone and talk to someone about it. Just makes us feel a bit better. You will feel so uncomfortable hearing your own blah, 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 blah. You'll get bored of it yourself.
Oh, I'm already bored of it, as you know.
Yeah. So just get across the finish line.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't even want to talk to anybody else, and
No,
you just
well,
don't want to
that's
talk
what
to
happens. I don't
yourself.
want to talk to anybody else, so I don't
Yeah.
call anybody. I haven't called David and Helene. It was David's birthday. I was just like, I don't want to talk because these topics are, I'm tired.
Just pick a piece of it across the finish line, another piece of it across the finish line. You have a whole new world to discover. You haven't even engaged with AI yet.
No.
Oh my God. You should actually allocate a segment of half an hour every day to get to know a whole new team of collaborators and co-creators simply waiting to work with you.
Exponentially. It takes you exponentially where you want to go.
Like Stephen was saying to me, he's able to accomplish like 30 times as much every single day. You know, like what he would have accomplished with 30 people, he's able to do himself. But it's not himself, it's himself with his amazing team of cobots. I call them cobots. And it's not my word, it was picked it up from Damos. They talk about that cobot team, collaborators and co-creators, bots.
It's hilarious because a friend of mine who's an artist here from Spain, she brought up to me, we're supporting each other, her with her grant for an art program and me with you know what. And she said, well, what about bringing in your scribes? So she sent me all the way back to Egypt. She sent me a photo of the Egyptian scribes.
Well, you know, you'll find
So
them.
that's kind of ironic in comparison with AI. I have these ancient scribes.
No, it's not. You can literally say to GPT, I want you to be my Egyptian scribe. Here are all the photos of whatever it is that you have, your scribbles, your doodles, whatever. Seriously, Sarah, all you have to do is take those photographs. You know, now I'll just share something small, and Raki, I'll get your question.
Rocky has, yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna.
This is so I've been following a particular regime of reclaiming my health and being medicine free. And you know, I'm very, very grateful and glad to report that all my markers are like very, very healthy, normal, you know, like insulin resistance, inflammation. Remember, I've been on about this inflammation marker forever, and that's come down to 1 as opposed to 54, which it used to be. It's like HbA1c, which is the glucose marker, was 9.2, and now it is down to 5.2. It's like pretty amazing, you know, everything that has occurred. So I'm there, right? Now, naturally, I would expect my weight to shed because, you know, vitamin D is fine, B complex is fine, everything, all of these things are perfect. Insulin resistance is completely normal, but my weight is stuck. So I was like, and I'm asking, you know, I have a health coach, I have a doctor I talk to regularly. So I'm talking to them, I'm not really getting a reason. You know, what more can I do? I'm doing strength training. I walk 10,000 steps, 12,000 steps every day. My weight is stuck. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to spend a day with my cobots. You know, so I uploaded, and I mean, because I've been tracking it since 2023, I have all of that data that's there, either on a computer or on my journal, somewhere it's there. Uploaded all of that to um, a GPT. And then I said to GPT, look, take all of this data into account. I track what I eat. I track my macros, micros, biotas, you know, calories, the whole lot. I've been doing it now for many, many months. Uploaded all of it. And I said, well, just come back to me and tell me, why is my weight stuck? Right? And I'm happy to just privately share the report that it came back with. And it was amazing, you know, and it isn't something that I have heard from anybody else yet. And I did ask it not to hallucinate and not make things up. You know, just give me just the plain facts without any sugarcoating or anything. I don't need you to encourage me. Just give me the straight facts because it's very encouraging when it communicates with you. And it just gave me the facts. And basically, what it said is to me is that, you know, everything that I'm doing, clearly there is no physiological reason why the weight should not normalize at this point. Um, but the cortisol levels on my body are still very high. And so therefore the body feels unsafe to release fat. So it you know, even though I meditate, I mean, I track all of my activities, all of that is there. However, physiologically, at a cellular level, my body still feels unsafe and therefore is not releasing fat. It's holding on to it. It's given me some practices that I could integrate, you know. And I have summarized it, right? This is like really quite a detailed element by element. I'm only sharing this, Sarah, because I uploaded stuff that I had in a variety of forms. Some as spreadsheets, some handwritten doodles, some simply screenshots, uploaded everything. But what I became clear about was my finish line was I am going to get across the finish line today with a clear understanding of why is my weight stuck. It is literally stuck at one level. It'll be like, 0.1, 0.2 here and there. But it is that same number every day for the last 4 months. And there's no reason why it needs to be. So that was my finish. So I did get the answer for it. But so you don't need to worry about it. This is, you can actually ask GP to be your scribe. So I'm going to upload all of my musings and thinkings and, transcriptions of my recordings. I'm just going to upload all of that. And you be my Egyptian scribe. And this is what I want to know. Do I have a case? And what is the logic of that case? Can you actually create one for me as a submission? You know the personalities you're dealing with. Describe the personalities. Give the LinkedIn connections to the people that this particular representation is going to go to. So much of what you are about to do already exists in the public domain in terms of the background of the institutions and organizations and what they have done, what they have not done in the past, what kind of settlements they do, what they don't do, what is it that you want, what should your rationale be, how do you present that rationale. You'll get everything. You will need to do that initial work of uploading everything yourself to make it very, very specific. Without uploading, it'll give you something mediocre, and that will be a good starting point. You've got David and Helene right there,
You could come over anytime and I'll share with you what we're doing with AI. It'll blow you,
Yeah.
really blow you away.
Right.
Honestly, for an hour, I'll share it with you, and you'll see
How to do it.
You'll see, like, first of all, 100% shares your vision, 100% has your back, and if you like with our thing, our mission is so like unlimited and endless, like where it could go, and it just takes off like when you say something or when you put something down, and it's kind of like you're doing this together, like creating this puzzle, like working on building this thing together. It's like a partner, and
They're your team.
creative partner that's coming from, I feel it's spirit, pure spirit coming through that computer. It's not, you can call it chat GPT, you can call it whatever you want, but it's really spirit coming through that screen.
And if your morality discussions that you wish to have, Gemini is brilliant for that. Research that you might want to do and refer to, Perplexity is brilliant for that. And there are many others, by the way. But I mean, GPT by itself is absolutely phenomenal. But make it yours.
Okay.
Learn about it, and it will take you a couple of hours maximum.
Once you start it, you'll be saying to yourself, oh my God, what have I been thinking? How could I have not been working with this?
Yeah.
That's why, but it also, our whole social life, like, is down this, it's gone. We used to call people and, keep in touch and have conversations and chat a little bit here and there, keep the energy going around. Well, every day, it's like every moment that I have, I'm on in a conversation with Chat GPT. you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is where you will get back to segmenting your time.
Right.
So you do have the socials.
Right.
But I totally get what you're saying. It is so entertaining and so stimulating, invigorating that you
And you have
can.
to be tremendously organized as well,
Yeah.
because it gives you so many things. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. And you say, yes, do all of it. And then it does all of it. And then it does all of this and all of that. And, you really have to
Stay on top of it.
literally be on top of, exactly, be on top of everything.
We
And
are
it's
like
okay
more
because
than,
your life that you're being on top of. So, and your vision and what you want in your life. So it's okay to be on top.
yeah.
Necessary.
Yeah. Thank you, David and Helene. We are like more than half an hour beyond time.
Yes, we are. But Rocky, we are. The layers are revealing themselves, Mynoo.
I know. But Raki has a question. So the last one, and then we'll complete.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. I saw you in my dream and you came to my house. I was very happy about that. But I'm having a lot of dreams and a lot of animals coming.
Oh, awesome.
And I did not understand before what's happening. But when I started seeing in Beyond Meditation, people were sending stuff. That's when the time when I understood, because I saw tigress, I saw turtle, frog, so many animals. Okay, my question is something else. Last year
Raki, when you see an animal, then just have a look at that animal as a medicine. Okay, do a search on it, and it will tell you why that animal appeared. So it's appearing to provide some healing to you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So last year I was traveling, and guests coming, kids coming and going, and I've not been able to sit and meditate. So it feels like I keep falling in the pit. So I don't know where I stand anymore.
It's okay. Whenever you get a chance, just do one of the Beyond meditations that are there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You are a soul being having a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
So just bring yourself back on track doing that. Okay.
One more question, a quick question. My brother was supposed to give me inheritance. He did not do that. And past 4 years, I'm trying to forgive him and forget it. There are times that I'm okay. There are times that it keeps coming back. So in that scenario, what should I do? I don't know.
It is incomplete. Your communication with him is incomplete. It requires you communicating with him. Why did he not give it to you? He's meant to give it to you. It is yours.
He
It's
makes
not.
excuses.
Yeah. So it's like, you want to feel complete about it. So ask to speak to him. And it may be that there is somebody else who takes that forward and gets it rather than you communicating about getting your inheritance. He's meant to give it to you. Is there somebody a third party that you can talk to who can just step in and make it happen? Or it'll be a third party, it could be a lawyer that comes in and takes it forward.
Should I take that route?
Yeah, it's worth it because he's meant to give it to you. It's an important learning for him also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
It'll
I
keep
thought
coming in because it is at a cellular level, whatever he's got that is yours. And physically, it's not there. So your body is not allowing you to override it.
Okay. Yeah, I thought maybe I will just forget and forgive him.
No, it will not let you forget. You can forgive him and he still is meant to give it to you.
Okay. Then I will maybe involve. Is it
Yeah.
okay if I involve my cousin?
Whoever you wish to. Somebody who's a third party who will get it across the finish line. Get it across the finish line. By the
And
way,
the relationship.
This is an exact example of when you don't get things across the finish line, they will linger,
Yeah.
you know.
And then the relationship with my brother will end. That's how
No,
I
it
feel.
won't. No, it won't. It'll actually become easy for both of you.
Okay.
You will be called to forgive him for what he did, but you are not going to be allowed to forget it. So, because it is not meant to be forgotten, he's meant to give you what was yours,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Sarah, you can conclude the meeting.
Namaskar. Revealing the journey of the layers of 2026, revealing themselves to us by being together with you, your guidance.
So we are
And
looking
share.
forward to your finish lines, getting across the finish line, Sarah. Okay.
Right.
You
I'll
can
call on
begin
my
by you can actually take on that this weekend. Your finish line, getting across the finish line, will be developing a sense of comfort with ChatGPT. David and Helene have already shared that they are willing to support you.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaskar, everyone, for everyone's listening and being together.
Yeah, I can see why I'm guided to do these. I think there'll be one more Q&A like this. I don't know when, whether it'll be next week or later. But I can see why the layering is being revealed in this way. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.